It is the last game of the regular season today in the 2019 lacrosse season. The two-time defending champs, the Ward Melville Patriots, they hit the road to wrap up the regular season against a Smithtown East Bulls team who's still somewhat trying to find their way, but they are right in the middle of the playoff picture. It's the Ward Melville Patriots taking on the Smithtown East Bulls in our HSS Game of the Week. Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to Smithtown East High School. Matt Shortis with you, and we're so glad you could join us on News 12 Varsity today for this matchup. Smithtown East, the Bulls, they come in at 9-4 in league play, and a bunch of teams bunched up at 9-4 in league play. Ward Melville, they've pretty much secured the number 2 seed. As we look at the tail of the tape right now, the Patriots, their defense, as always, has been a stalwart and a strength for what they're capable of. And they are led on the backside by Colin Krieg. Krieg, a second-year starter, one of the holdovers from a state championship team a year ago, committed to UNC All-County last year, likely that again this year. And then on the other end of the field, Dylan Palinetti, over 35 goals on the season, a 4-year starter, 2-time All-County performer. He's been right in the mix for everything that Ward Melville has done over the last several years. For the Smithtown side of things, as always, it starts the face-off X. Chris Arceri, committed to UPenn. His brother's up at Penn State. He's the guy who gets possessions for Smithtown East, and they're going to rely a lot on him for that today. Matt Finn as well in the midfield, a second-year player, a captain. A lot of turnover from Smithtown last year. Well, he is a guy who is going to try and stir things offensively today. We'll be back. The opening face-off is coming your way. It's Ward Melville and Smithtown East. Coming up, it's brought to you by the HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics with locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The best is now nearby. Welcome back to Smithtown East High School as we get ready for the start of today's contest between the Ward Melville Patriots and the Smithtown East Bulls. Well, it's a little overcast, a little windy, a little cool, and Amanda Puglisi is down on the sidelines dealing with it all.
Well, Matt, I'm certainly not working on my tan today, but look, these are two teams that they are both really familiar with the postseason, and as you talked about before, this is the last regular season game, and both of these coaches are really looking ahead to the playoffs. And when I spoke to Coach Negus, he said that he's still waiting for his team to play a little bit more consistent. He said that we haven't played our best game to date, but they are hoping that that's going to be today and that they'll be able to build on it for the playoffs. He says if we can play consistent in all facets of the game, we're going to be really happy with the outcome. And basically similar statements were said on the other side from first-year head coach Rob Campbell and Smithtown East. And as they wrap up the regular season, Campbell says he's hoping for his team to play their first complete game of the year. He says, I'm still waiting for my guys to put together a solid 4 quarters of lacrosse. He says once you get out of the regular season, that's when it really matters, and that's when you got to win the games. It all comes down to the playoffs.
Thanks, Amanda. Well, you know, from the Ward Melville side of things, Jay Negus, it's been a similar refrain for him over the last several seasons, really since he became head coach of Ward Melville, that consistency. And he sets the bar high. I mean, they've won 2 back-to-back state championships, and as a result, the team has wound up rising to meet that. So Jay Negus is in his 6th season. You see Chris Arceri getting ready to lead the way for Smithtown East right now. Again, Arceri, a junior. And going back to Jason Lambert, when he was head coach, as he stepped down earlier this year, wanted to spend a little bit more time with his family. That led the way for Rob Campbell to take over. And when Rob Campbell met with the team for the first time this year, he said, you know, talking to coaches around the league and talking to fans and whatnot, he says, you know, people outside of us don't really expect us to be very good. And he set that, he's like, let's go prove them wrong. And he said guys really, you know, rallied around that sort of mantra, and feels like if they can put 4 quarters together, as Amanda spoke about, then they can play with anybody and they can potentially beat anybody, and including the 2-time defending state champions. Colin Krieg settles back into his cage. The junior second-year starter was between the pipes for a state championship last year, as we talked about. Committed to North Carolina. He's really good in tight And the defense for Ward Melville playing a little bit more zone this year, so he's seeing a bit more outside shots, perhaps, than he might have last year. No Brandon Avilas today for Ward Melville as you get a look at Brendan Donovan, senior who won the job in camp for Smithtown East. And as I mentioned, no Brandon Avilas, the starting face-off and first-line midfielder for Ward Melville. And Arceri takes it right away, took it to the cage and lost it on a back check. So you'll see a little bit of Pat O'Neill for Ward Melville. You'll see some Matt Wong. The Patriots at times, as Jay Negus talked about, putting 4 quarters together. One of their issues earlier in the season was starting slow. He feels like they've turned the corner there, and we'll see if that is the case. Trey Berry bringing over the midfield line. Ward Melville in the classic green with the yellow helmets. As they move to the offense, we'll take a look at the keys. Again, we talked about 4 complete quarters. High shooting percentage. They've had games where they've had a lot of shots, but not many of them on goal. And trying to win the face-off battle. A tall order with Chris Arceri on the other side and Brandon Avilas out today for the Patriots. Here's a look right on the crease. Nice find in tight, and putting it home is Jack Gillen. Gillen, part of the starting first-line midfield today with Avilas out. And he finds the soft spot right in front of the crease. Great feed from the right side by the sophomore Trevor Dunn. As Gillen, 2 guys kind of falling asleep defensively right on the crease. And Ward Melville takes a 1-0 lead just a minute and 2 seconds in. So Gillen, those 2 guys, Gillen and Dunn, both on the Ward Melville football team. Connecting here on the lacrosse field. Arceri now 2 for 2 from the face-off X. Arceri with the pull, trying to go hard towards cage, but the slide comes over nicely and it's well protected. Christian Marcello will settle in, really for the first time. Smithtown East, the Bulls will have it on the offensive side. For them, the keys to the game, don't worry about the name on the jersey. Rob Campbell, he scouts, but not a whole lot. He says we got to worry about what we do. They have to be aggressive and win the face-off battle, which they've done so far through the first 2 face-offs. You'll see Smithtown East likely slow it down a little bit more than we saw Ward Melville look on their first offensive series of the game. Here's Justin Carroll, the junior. Now Matt Finn, second-year player, a captain, somebody who really kind of gravitated to Rob Campbell's message early on through camp and has taken more of a leadership role as this season has gone along. Goria up top. Here's Carroll, goal line extended, feeds it across. And Ward Melville content to kind of sit back into the zone defensively, let Smithtown East pass it around. Here's a shot from up top. Krieg sees it out all the way, goes down for the stop. First save of the game for Colin Krieg, and Ward Melville will look to outlet ahead. Again, that's what a zone defense can do to opposing offenses. If you're not getting a whole lot of interior, start to get a little bit impatient. So Smithtown East is going to have to be patient on the offensive end of the field today. A couple minutes in here. Overcast day on Long Island from Smithtown East High School. So Ward Melville, their second midfield group coming on. Steve Germaine out there along with Pat Crotcheville. There's Crotcheville. Shot denied by Donovan. And Donovan's got his first stop of the game. Brendan Donovan, real solid positioning. One of the ways that Rob Campbell kind of determines who he can go with in goal as Smithtown East able to get it over the midfield line. But not for long. A nice back check here by Pat O'Neill. Comes up with the cause turnover, and Ward Melville going the other way. DeBlanco, Palinetti on the run, right into the numbers of Donovan, to the turf, and we'll have a loose ball push against Ward Melville. But Donovan had to be eyes up quickly. Palinetti a rocket right at him. We're just talking about good positioning on his part. Barely had to move for that one. So following the turnover, Smithtown East will go back to the offensive side of the field. Matt Finn, a senior. He'll play collegiate lacrosse at SUNY Geneseo. Now Worthon. Fed back up top to Worthon. Smithtown East will pull it back out. Keith Didda. Swing it around the perimeter. O'Neal back up top. He's sort of the point man, top middle of the defensive side for Ward Melville. Here's Chris Arceri getting a little look on the offensive side of the field. Arceri met by the double team, pulls it back out. Didda now. And we talked about the patience that's going to be required for Smithtown East. Ward Melville allowing just under 5 goals per game, so they are a stingy defense. There's Marcelo diving, bounce shot, just goes high over the crossbar. Came around GLE, got a pretty decent look at it on a tough angle shot. Took a big hop right by the crease and cleared the crossbar. But you like to see the dodge from X by Marcelo, sort of taking initiative there. Back it comes to Marcelo, towing that, tries it again, goes 5-hole on Krieg and ties the game. Boy, it was almost as though Christian Marcelo missed on that first attempt, but said, hey, I've got something here. I know I could go to the cage again with that dodge from X. And the second time he got the ball back there after the missed shot, he knew 100% he was going hard to cage. 5-hole on Krieg on the bounce. Slide was late coming over. And Christian Marcelo ties this game up at 1 apiece. So we had a goal for Ward Melville in 3 of Gillen and 3 of Marcelo for Smithtown East. Ball comes all the way out near the top of the Ward Melville box on the faceoff, and a scrum for it. It's the Patriots coming away with it. They've got numbers in an unsettled situation following that, and they'll pull it back to restart the offense over at X. Tied at 1, just past the midway point of the first quarter. Here's the midfielder, Stephen Germaine. Sometimes he rotates to attack, and that's where we see him right now at X. Trevor Dunn, the sophomore in the first line group, back on. Berry and Jack Gillen as well. Trey Berry, a returner from last year's crew, committed to Stony Brook to play football. Here's Palinetti, gets a screen from Germaine. Palinetti back up top, shows one little fake at it. Donovan got a shoulder on this one, and a fight for it, a race to the end line. Ward Melville's got it. But Donovan has looked steady so far in this first quarter. That's his 3rd save of the game. 5 to play in the opening quarter. Low scoring contest so far, knotted up at 1 apiece. Trey Berry pulling it up top in a 1-4 offense. Now they switch towards a motion 1. Goal line extended, up top it comes. Pass a little out of the reach of Dunn, who has to slide over to recover it. Here's Germaine back at X. He's got the pole matchup, a screen from Germaine. Slide comes over, back up top it comes. This time for Berry. Berry, Palinetti, and Dunn across the top of the box. Now the sophomore Dunn inverting to X. Good size for a sophomore. He gets by his defender. Good recovery though from the defensive side for Smithtown East. Here's Berry. Well, Smithtown East not giving up a whole lot defensively right now. We talked about Ward Melville wanting to have a good shooting percentage. They've done that so far. Had about 5 shots. Donovan has saved 3 of them. And now a Ward on Ward Melville. They turned it over. Well, we talked about patience on offense for Smithtown East. How about the patience on defense? Waiting for the opportunity. And they clear it down the other end of the field. Here's Marcelo, the goal scorer for the Bulls today. Smithtown East trying to work quickly, see if they could take advantage of numbers. Now they'll wait for their offensive personnel to come on. Finn coming back in, look down towards the bottom of the crease, and a goal for Smithtown East. Owen Carroll, the freshman, lowers the hammer and puts it by Krieg. With Finn coming in, some of the defense keyed in on him. Beautiful look from Justin Carroll to Owen Carroll. Almost looked like Justin was rearing up to shoot that one, so the brothers connect. And Smithtown East takes the lead for the first time today. Face-off win by Arceri. One of the good things for Ward Melville about having Pat O'Neill out there, if he loses the face-off, they've got one of the best defenders on Long Island D'ing up the midfielder right away. But this is a recipe for success for Smithtown East. Slow the game down, get a lead, and then let your face-off man go to work. Continue to get offensive possessions and build on top of that. Chris Goria off a screen, finding the soft spot in that zone defense. 3 unanswered goals for Smithtown East. All 3 attackmen have gotten in the mix now. Keith Ditta, a senior committed to Western Connecticut. And this time it's Chris Goria working off the screen. And a real nice setup. Good unselfish lacrosse from Smithtown East so far. So those 2 goals less than a minute apart for the Bulls. And all of a sudden they have a 2-goal advantage. They didn't score till the 5:49 mark of the first half, so almost midway through the first quarter until the Bulls broke through Krieg, but they have scored 3 straight and take a 3-1 advantage as we close into the final 2 minutes of the opening frame. Freshman Owen Carroll has the short stick on him. Defensively, it's Germaine against him. Carroll back up top to Chris Goria, who had the assist on the last goal a moment ago. A drive from Justin Carroll and a shot whistling wide. Smithtown East there to back up. Here's Marcelo driving from X, and now Marcelo, you see, has got the long pull on him after they saw what he could do with an individual dodge. Goria now up top to Finn. Justin Carroll. Carroll roll dodge, worm burner of a shot, bounced and deflected before it could get to Krieg. Just shy of 90 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 3-1, Smithtown East leads. Dodge from X by Marcelo. Goria inverting now, draws a double team, goes short side, high save by Krieg. Way to stick with it. And as the second-year starter got a piece of that, but a trouble on the clear attempt. Krieg's able to get it, now outlets ahead. Forward for Alex Schrenk. And Ward Melville able to cross midfield with under a minute to play in the opening quarter. Oh, a real solid job on the ride by Smithtown East. Almost created a turnover. And Krieg, some heads-up play. Able to get the ball to safety. 30 seconds here. Looks like Ward Melville will hold for the final shot of the quarter. Germaine holding behind the cage. Barbaro trying to break free on the crease. Germaine to a cutter, cutting down from up top, couldn't hold on to it. Germaine's got it right in front. Hard collision as Rocco Barbaro, the junior, went down. A flag comes down. But if you're Smithtown East, you take that penalty almost every single time. Because if Barbaro catches that, that's essentially a quick stick and a goal. This will likely be a cross-check coming against Smithtown East. A 30-second push. Again, if you're Smithtown East, you take that every time rather than giving up what likely would have been a sure goal. So just 4 seconds show on the clock in the opening quarter. Ward Melville will have it as they go to a man advantage. Palinetti will hold for the final second. No face-off to begin the second, as Ward Melville will have it with about 26 seconds on a man advantage. So the Patriots get the first goal of the game just a minute in, but Smithtown East scores the last 3 to end the quarter with a 3-1 advantage. It's the HSS Game of the Week, brought to you by HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics with locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The best is now nearby. Welcome back to Smithtown East High School as the Bulls lead the two-time defending state champs in the Ward Melville Patriots by a score of 3-1 with 12 minutes in the books. Again, the Patriots 9-4. You see first-year head coach Rob Campbell took over in about January after Jason Lambert, the longtime Smithtown East head coach, decided to resign, step down, spend some more time with his family. Grew up in Vancouver, British Columbia, and he played lacrosse at Stony Brook. And he got the job. His wife Caitlin is a teacher in the Smithtown East District. She teaches 6th grade. She knew about the opening, gave him a call, and then he applied and ended up getting the job, and here he is. His team right now leading 3-1 as we begin the second quarter. The Patriots on a man advantage, trying to move the ball quickly. Ball dropped to the turf, right in the crease. It's loose, and a scrum for it in front of Brendan Donovan. It's picked up by Palinetti, who knows exactly what to do with it. And it's a Ward Melville goal just after the penalty expired. So an even strength goal almost ties it up as Ward Melville gets back within 1. Always a dicey situation for a netminder, for a defensive player, when the ball is on the turf and surrounded by 6 or 7 different guys. So many different things could come out of that. And a nice ground ball effort by Palinetti. Goes low, stick side, basically to the shoe tops of Donovan. Ward Melville defensively struggled towards the end of that quarter. Amanda's got more.
Matt, the coaching staff telling their guys before the start of the second that Smithtown East is throwing everything they have at us offensively, but we need to do a better job communicating, especially through those picks. They're saying, guys, you have to just be patient and stick to the game plan.
Thanks, Amanda. We talked about that after the third goal. Smithtown East was moving the ball really effectively. They've got 2 assists on their 3 goals. And as Amanda talked about it, defensively, they've got to watch out for the pick. Smithtown East almost turns the ball over here. Here's Marcelo with it, able to recover. They're doing a nice job up at the midfield near the top of the box, setting picks, and it's opening things up right on the crease because the slide has to come over for that first offensive player of the midfield coming on because he's the threat to dodge. Goria will move it across to Finn. In tight, got by Krieg. Quick stick on a rebound, put in. Boy, reached up. Owen Carroll went up high for it. And I don't know if he's got any more extension than what we just saw. But a juicy rebound put back in by Carroll. Second goal of the contest for the freshman, Owen Carroll. Again, first look, real great. Krieg got a piece of it, big rebound. And almost a slam dunk for Owen Carroll. Now in hockey, Keith Dida would have gotten an assist on that, but not the case here. As Chris Arceri, again, winning a faceoff. He's lost only one today for the Bulls. But again, we're seeing it. They're finding the soft spot in the Ward Melville zone, Smithtown East is. They've had 4 goals, 3 of which have basically been initiated by shots in that crease area. The lone exception being the first goal they scored today with the dodge from X by Marcelo. Here's Goria. Now Finn handcuffed by that pass. Backing up at X was Marcelo. Played 2 minutes here in the second quarter. Both teams have scored a goal in the second, and it's a 4-2 Smithtown East advantage. Dida, the senior, real good finisher. Committed to Western Connecticut, which I'm sure Rob Campbell appreciates as a guy who grew up playing box lacrosse. These guys are all pretty good in tight from an offensive perspective. Smithtown East showing the patience. They've showed it a lot today. Here's Marcelo trying to turn the corner, loses the ball, picked up by O'Neal. O'Neal, nice feet ahead for Cratatrill. Here's Ward Melville trying to move the ball quickly, but they stepped into the crease. A little over-aggressive, Barbaro was. And a wasted opportunity for the Patriots. Wertheim, freshman. This is just his second game on the varsity level. He played earlier this week against Hills East. So getting some good minutes with the Bulls on a late season call-up. Here's Arceri stepping in. Marcelo, now Finn with it. The senior attackman drawing the short stick. Arceri tries to tuck inside. Well defended by Schrank. Back up top for Finn. Finn denied entry. Wertheim looks at it. Keith Dida, the senior now. Comes GLE near side. Long extended possession for the Bulls. They've had a lot of time of possession so far in this game. Dida. No shot clock in the high school game. Now the stall warning is on. Doesn't matter. Bounce shot from the top of the box. Gets through a crowd of bodies. Krieg never saw it. And Marcelo's got his second goal today. So Christian Marcelo right off the feed from Arceri. Again, plenty of room to shoot. A bounce shot. High angle off the turf. And Marcelo's got his second today. Well, right now, I think you can make the case the Bulls are kind of surprising Ward Melville right now. The Patriots feeling like they were starting to figure things out coming into this game. I'll say that a little lightly. I mean, they are the number 2 seed right now in Suffolk County, but they don't feel like they're playing up to their own expectations. And it felt like they were starting to turn that corner a little bit. And the Bulls, a bit more of an upstart, perhaps a little bit more on the unknown side in terms of their personnel. And they've got the 5-2 advantage at home midway through the second quarter. Up top it comes for Finn. Nice find again, and Smithtown East, they're playing with a boatload of confidence as Keith Ditta beats Krieg. 3 unanswered for Smithtown East, and the goal horn sounds again. And it's just a quick little flash one more time. Finn moving to his right, quick pop out by Keith Ditta, who's got his second today. And on 4 of the 6 Smithtown East goals, there have been assists. You know, I mentioned it earlier. The recipe for success, get a couple goal lead for Smithtown, and now the advantage is clearly to the Bulls at the faceoff X. So Ward Melville, who have been playing a lot more zone defense this year than they have in years past, now they have to start to press out a little bit more defensively. They have to try and cause turnovers because that's the only way they're going to get possessions. That, and of course with Krieg coming up with saves, but Smithtown East right now, they're taking shots that I'm sure if you ask Krieg, he feels like he should be able to stop those. They're up near the top of the box. They've got, you know, plenty of room to operate for Krieg to be able to save. As he comes up with a stop here, flag flying as a delayed penalty coming up on the Bulls. And now it will come up. Smithtown East picked that one up, so we'll see what the penalty is. Slash against the Bulls. Ward Melville 0 for 1 on the man advantage today, but they did score a goal just after the penalty expired to begin the second quarter. And it came at the right time for the Patriots. They need something and some way to get their offense rolling. They've scored just 2 goals to this point, and Smithtown East has dominated time of possession. So a man-up chance for Ward Melville. Trey Berry has his pass intercepted, knocked down by Kevin Wasp, and Wasp unable to control it. Ball to the turf, picked up by Palinetti. Midway through the man-up chance, and Ward Melville yet to have a shot. Palinetti up top. Box and one with the one extended up top for Smithtown East right now. Germaine now back behind the cage. 8 seconds on the man advantage. Palinetti up top, pulls the string, blocked in front, and it caroms out of bounds. Kevin Wasp caught that one in the back of the shoulder pads. And just 2 seconds remain on the Ward Melville man advantage. Penalties released. Patriots still with the offensive possession. Here's Palinetti up top. Buzzing, trying to get something going. So Ward Melville falls to 0 for 2 on the man advantage today. They've not committed a penalty, so Smithtown East has not had a man-up chance yet. Germaine, double team draws for him. Palinetti up top. Moving over to the left side. Good defense. Takeaway for Smithtown East. Picked up by Connor Malley. And Malley pushed out of bounds. And some words exchanged between he and Jack Gillen afterwards. But I believe Smithtown East got a timeout off before Malley went out of bounds. So Rob Campbell using his first timeout of the first half. Well, Smithtown East 9-4 in the league. Let's see how they've been doing of late. They've come in on a 5-game win streak. Last loss out of league at Massapequa, 17-6. They lost to their crosstown rival Smithtown West and Northport, so they've lost to 2 of the top 3 teams in league play and trying to make a bit of noise, at least they have so far today, with a win over one of those top 3. Mentioned it before, Rob Campbell coming in preseason saying, everybody thinks you guys stink, and let's see what we could do to prove them wrong. They're in the mix right now. There's a bunch of teams all bunched up at 9-4 behind that top 3 in the league. So, you know, if you're Rob Campbell and you're saying, we could come out of this, and if we go into the playoffs with a win over the 2-time defending state champs, I mean, you look 9-4, West Islip, Northport, Riverhead, Smithtown East, and then Sachem East to round out the top 8. And right now, Northport trails Bayshore 6-5 at halftime. I mean, you go into the playoffs with a win like this, if the score stands, Rob Campbell's saying, hey, why not us? And they're certainly playing some inspired lacrosse right now. Their defense has been stout. Ward Melville has had very few shots on goal in this second quarter. Right now their ride is real tough. Takeaway, here's Pat O'Neill. Ward Melville coming away with an unsettled situation. Palinetti, shot fake, goes low and scores. The Patriots came out of that timeout determined to force a turnover on the ride. And Pat O'Neill coming away with the interception. He can handle the stick. Threw it a little bit behind Palinetti, but if there's one guy who can handle that on the run, it is the 4-year starter, Dylan Palinetti, who nets his second goal of the quarter. So 2 of the stalwarts, the longtime Patriots, hooking up for a goal in transition. It's Pat O'Neill out there to take the face-off. Arceri wins it, throws it away, and now a battle for it. Kick behind the cage, Krieg fighting for it, but Smithtown East had it for a moment. Krieg's got it, and a timeout by the Patriots of Ward Melville. You know, on the face-off X, if you're Chris Arceri, you'd like to see him have a little bit more patience there. Ward Melville just scored a goal. Yes, he's got Pat O'Neill breathing down his neck, but have the presence of mind to pull it out, slow it down. As we take a look at the Ward Melville schedule, they come in winning their last 3. That win over Floyd, well, it was a congratulatory note. Jay Negus, his 100th career win as a head coach. He didn't even know about it. They gave him the Gatorade bath. He's like, what is this for? And he found out afterwards, he thought today would have been the game for 100, but instead it was at Floyd earlier this week, so congratulations to Jay Negus. You see Haverford and Seton Hall Prep there towards the end of April. That was part of a big showcase put on at St. Anthony's. That came on late in the fall, so Ward Melville traditionally will play usually a team from Massachusetts and then one of the local Nassau County teams out of league. They kind of had to pull back on those to get in the Seton Hall Prep and Haverford in the showcase over at St. Anthony's. So a little different schedule look for the Patriots this year than in years past. Meanwhile, Jay Negus talking to his crew right now. Smithtown East leading by 3. It's 6-3 with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, and you see Amanda down there. She was listening in with Jay Negus, and we'll see if she has anything to report in a moment. Colin Krieg has had to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of gaining possession for the Patriots. He's faced a lot of shots, probably more than he has on most days. This team allowing a shade under 5 goals per game. I mean, he's surrendered 6 goals in this first half. Came out to win the possession a moment ago. There's Jack Gillen sort of leaking out, and Krieg able to find him on an outlet pass. Patriots taking their time to clear the ball. As much time as they're allowed anyway. 2.5 to go in the opening half. The home team Bulls on top 6-3. All the offensive personnel back on for the Patriots. Look right in the crease. Palinetti tried to bang it home, but Donovan was there. Brendan Donovan, who looked really good in the first quarter, has had a pretty quiet second quarter. Hasn't been tested a whole lot. But he's able to come up with a stop there. Arceri receives the pass, expecting to get hit, as Palinetti got a little bit of him. And Arceri to bring it over the midfield line. Under 2 minutes to play in the opening half, 6-3. Smithtown East leads the Ward Melville Patriots. Look to the crease. Instead, they feed back behind the cage for Marcelo. Marcelo, they'll get it back up top for Goria. Goria to Finn now. Finn changing direction, ranging to his left. And watch that pick and roll from the Smithtown East side. Goria inverting. He'll move behind the cage. Marcelo again. Nearly a minute of time gone by in this offensive series. Justin Carroll, he's looked strong today. To his younger brother, Owen. Up top for the senior captain in Matt Finn. Finn getting D'd up by Alex Schrank. And Smithtown East will take a timeout. Now in this game, Rob Campbell said he was curious to see how his team showed up against Ward Melville. You know, we talked about them not getting a full 4 quarters out of his group. He was excited, sort of cautiously optimistic to see how they would perform against one of the top teams and see exactly how they've grown over the course of this season. 2-time Suffolk champs in 2014 and 2015, 2 teams that were absolutely loaded. You know, with the likes of Dan Angelis and Jerry Arceri and those guys. 2 teams that had seniors and juniors that had really come a long way and kind of put this program on the map as a class. From the time that they were freshmen and jumped in over Massapequa in a non-league game to the time that they graduated, and they left a legacy that some of these guys are still trying to kind of build up to, but they perennially became one of those top 4 or 5 teams in Suffolk County that you would talk about, along with Ward Melville, along with Smithtown West, along with West Islip. And that's the lineage that Rob Campbell is trying to build back into this program. And Jason Lambert, to an extent as well, the former varsity coach. He's coaching down at the middle school now. Congratulations to him. Just had his 4th child, he and his wife. Out of the timeout, Smithtown East has it. Quick stick. Krieg got a piece of that. Absolutely robbed Owen Carroll. And the Patriots trying to push ahead with 30 seconds left. Here's Germaine. And the last timeout available to Ward Melville will be taken. So you get one here. If you're the Patriots, it very much changes how you feel going into the halftime break. For the Patriots, they took a 1-0 lead a minute into this contest before 3 straight goals scored by Smithtown East. 2 of them coming a minute apart around the 9-minute mark of that first quarter. Ward Melville comes out Second quarter, again, just shy of a minute in, they cut the deficit to 1. It was 3-2. But again, all of a sudden, Smithtown East able to put a bit of a run together, score 3 unanswered goals to make it 6-2. And Patriots got 1 back a few minutes ago in transition. If they could get 1 more here, again, it just changes how you feel going into the second half. Colin Krieg, after a rough early start, say, to this quarter, he's really come alive in the last few minutes. Again, look at this last save where he absolutely robbed Carroll right in front. Krieg stuck it with it the whole time. And for the Patriots, that's about as much as you'll be able to do to get possession the way our series played at the face-off X today. 20 seconds remain in the first half. Out of the break, it's Trey Berry. Berry up top to Germaine. Germaine looking right on the crease. Ball deflected away. Smithtown East poked it away for a moment. Germaine's got it back. To the turf again it goes. Squirts out towards midfield. And time will wind down. Just 1 second left on the clock. Well done, Smithtown East. Just enough. But a flag comes out after time expired. I think a Smithtown East player got to check up a little bit too high on one of the Ward Melville players. So it looks like the Patriots will go on the advantage as we begin the third quarter. We'll see. They'll work it all out. So they'll get it sorted out by the time we are ready to start the third quarter. But if you're Smithtown East, couldn't have asked for a better opening half of play. A 6-3 advantage over the Ward Melville Patriots. Stay with us for our News 12 Varsity Game of the Week, brought to you by HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics with locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The best is now nearby. The Smithtown East Bulls are up over the Ward Melville Patriots 6-3 at halftime. Matt Short is back with you at Smithtown East. Let's go down to Amanda Puglisi.
Matt, our latest scholar athlete keeps us here in Suffolk County, but instead of being on the lacrosse field, we're actually going to head on over to the soccer fields and the basketball courts.
For the second week in a row, we go out east to find our latest winner of the News 12 Scholar Athlete Award, sponsored by Bethpage Federal Credit Union. She's Pearson High School senior Katie Nealand. Katie said for a long time she didn't like soccer, but she ended up being really good at it. She was the Whalers goalie, earning all-county and all-league honors. But basketball is her best sport. She's been a varsity player since 8th grade, and this season she went down, but finished on top. She came back from a broken wrist to lead Pearson to an outright league championship. She made the all-league team and leaves as just the 3rd Pearson girl ever to score more than 1,000 points.
I was actually really surprised that I was only the 3rd female in history, Pearson history, to do that. Before, you would look up and it was only 2 girls, so I hope 3 might give some girls a little more inspiration, because it's definitely achievable.
And if you want to find Katie when she's not in school, look up, because she's probably in the sky. She's training to be a pilot. Her goal is to fly as a Navy fighter and then become an astronaut. For Katie, the sky's not the limit, it's the dream.
That is the dream. That is what I sit at night, like, dreaming about, and daydreaming, like, on bus rides to the basketball games and stuff like that. I just, like, look up at the sky and I'm like, one day that's gonna be me.
Katie also works at East Hampton Airport and is a peer tutor. She has a 92 unweighted average and scored 1,400 on the SAT. And like all of our winners, Katie gets a $1,000 scholarship from Bethpage Federal Credit Union. She's also our last winner of the school year. And congratulations to all 30 Scholar Athlete Award winners. And we'll see you at our banquet on June 11th. I'm Kevin Marr.
All of our scholar athletes are really impressive, but I don't know if we have had one yet that wants to be a pilot. So congratulations to our latest scholar athlete here on Long Island. But don't go anywhere, because we have a Suffolk boys lacrosse battle here as Smithtown East leads the visitors Ward Melville by a score of 6-3. Matt will have the highlights for you when we come back.
Well, very even first half for Smithtown East. 3 goals in the first, 3 goals in the second, and they lead 6-3 at halftime. Matt Short is with you, and now let's take a look at the first half highlights. Well, the Patriots got started quickly It was Jack Gillen who scored the goal just a minute 2 seconds in, and the Patriots led 1-0. But the offense for Smithtown East got into a little possession control style game. Marcelo got the Bulls on the board to tie it up at 1 at about the midway point of the first quarter. And then the Bulls would find their stride offensively. The Carroll brothers hooking up with the freshman Owen Carroll, finding his way past Krieg. Now Goria finding Dida, and it was a 3-1 lead after 1 quarter of play. The Patriots started the second quarter man up. This penalty had just expired, but the 4-year player Dylan Palinetti able to put it home to cut the deficit to just 1. The Patriots, or the Bulls, would score about a minute later off the rebound. Owen Carroll slammed it down for his second of the game. And then Smithtown East, again, up top, they were firing from distance. Marcelo with his second. Dida adds another one to make it 6-2 at the time. And then the ride comes in for Ward Melville. Pat O'Neill finding Dylan Palinetti, and Palinetti beats Donovan on the run. But the Patriots still trail at halftime. The freshman Owen Carroll with 2 goals. All 3 of the attackmen for the Patriots have scored a pair, and it's 6-3, Bulls on top. Welcome back to Smithtown East High School. Matt Shortis with you as we're about ready to start the third quarter, and let's go down to Amanda Puglisi before we do.
Matt, we knew coming into this game that playing a complete game and playing a total of 4 solid quarters was definitely something that Coach Negus was a little concerned of. And he said, look, we didn't start off the way we wanted to. We did not play a good first quarter, but we really picked it up in the second. He said he felt like his team really played with more energy, and they really had a fight in them. And as he preaches to all of his teams, it's all about the next play. So he's hoping that they can continue rolling here in the third. And as you can imagine, Coach Campbell really excited with the way his team performed in that first half. He says it's all about keeping the momentum going for us. It's about moving the ball. Ward Melville threw a zone at them, so it's moving the ball around and really just finding the crease.
And I thought they did that exceptionally well in the first half. And I would agree with Jay Negus, too. The Patriots did look different in the second quarter, the latter part of the second quarter, even if the goals weren't quite there. They had a little bit more of a defensive edge to them, and Krieg played a lot better in goal as well. So the Patriots start on the man advantage, and that's why there is no face-off to begin the third quarter. Remember, there was that penalty just as time expired against Smithtown East. So it's Jordan Shankman serving the penalty in the box right now. Here's a look in tight, and a goal put home by Rocco Barbaro. And for the third time in this game, the Patriots start the quarter with a goal. It's an extra man goal for Ward Melville. Good hard cut from up top. That's exactly what you want to see for an attackman or midfielder moving without the ball. Gillen did a nice job finding him, and that comes just 24 seconds into the penalty. So back to the face-off X. Ward Melville has cut it to a 2-goal deficit. Arceri scoops up the ground ball on the face-off. I have to correct myself, said Owen Carroll and Justin Carroll were brothers. They are, in fact, cousins. So the cousins connecting earlier in this contest, and the freshman Owen Carroll has a pair today. In fact, all of the scoring for Smithtown East has come from their attackmen. Marcelo, Carroll, and Dida all have 2 goals apiece, but it's the midfielders who are setting them up really nicely. They've had 4 assists on their 6 goals. Here's a shot from the right side of the field that whistles past Krieg. Marcelo there to retrieve it. Sun seems like it's trying to come out. It was overcast and windy and cold when we started. Defense pressing out for the Patriots. Marcelo back up top, it comes for Goria. Goria moves inside, thought about the shot, defense slid over as Ethan Larson came over him to deter the shot. Shot on the run. Krieg there to stop it. Didn't seem like there was a whole lot behind that from Carroll. Justin Carroll, that is. Lob pass ahead for Schrank. And Ward Melville gets it over the midfield line. It's been a bit of a mark by this Patriots team this year. A slow start. But it hasn't hampered them when 48 minutes are in the books. They still have 12 wins on the year. 11 of them coming in league play. So this isn't a situation they've not found themselves in at all. Doesn't mean that Jay Negus likes to be in this situation, but it is a familiar one. Here's Berry. Now Dunn. Good ball movement by the Patriots, trying to find inside again. Germaine can't get his pass through. Berry a step on his defender. Roll dodge, surveying up top. Up top, and a shot somehow beat Donovan. Jack Gillen has his second today, and the Patriots are back within one. Boy, that one seemed like it caught the entire Smithtown East defense by surprise that it went in. Everybody looked like they were looking for the end line to see where it went out of bounds. Instead, Gillen got it from all the way up top, sidearm shot, and snuck it in on the inside of the pipe. So Gillen's second goal today is third point. And the Patriots started the third quarter off on the right foot. Back-to-back goals, and they've got possession here. Following the procedure on Arceri. First time all game that Ward Melville has scored back-to-back goals. They've scored 3 straight, bridging the first and second half. Here's Mulham on the run. Shot going wide. This is Palinetti trying to get a step on his man. Well defended. Palinetti using the body to create some space and puts it in. Dylan Palinetti is third of the game, and Ward Melville making quick work of it. They've scored 3 straight to start the quarter and tie it up at 6. Dylan Palinetti just showing the veteran savvy. Wasn't getting a whole lot of space, got about a step, lowered the shoulder to create a little bit more room, and able to beat Donovan. Arceri, a huge face-off win for Smithtown East. They really needed that one. Ward Melville not going away quietly. They have definitely woken up. And we've got a brand new lacrosse game knotted up at 6. 4 minutes gone by in the third. Gallery, the sophomore. You know, both these teams pretty young. Ward Melville, the seniors and juniors, upperclassmen that they do have, their experience, they've been through the rigors. The Smithtown East team, pretty young, relatively inexperienced, even their upperclassmen. How will they do with a test like this? But for both coaches, exactly the sort of game you want heading into the postseason. Gallery moving it back behind the cage for Owen Carroll. This is Wartheim, double team, slides over to him, bounces it up top for Finn. Little trouble handling that, but it's picked up by Ditta. Bulls keep the possession. The intensity on the defensive end is ratcheted up as well for Ward Melville. And the stall warning is on for the Bulls. Seemed pretty quick. Finn. Wertheim with it. Wertheim lost the stick. Ward Melville's got it. Hard check by Ethan Larson. Larson missed a couple games early, didn't play versus Northport. Committed to North Carolina. A little trouble handling this, but eventually it's picked up by Trevor Dunn, the sophomore. And the vibe, the energy of this crowd has definitely shifted the other way. Ward Melville's side of fans much more vocal than they were a few minutes ago. As we're now midway through the third. Patriots have scored 3 straight to tie it up at 6. Jack Gillen has been right in the middle of all of that. He and Palinetti leading the way offensively for the Patriots. Gillen, GLE, double team to him. Palinetti's got it. Palinetti scored from this spot on the field a moment ago. Moves inside, ball to the turf. And we'll have a whistle, and it's going to be a push on a loose ball with Smithtown East. On Shankman. You know, a couple of years ago, that might not be a whistle. Players were face to face. Shankman lowered the shoulder, got the upper body of Rocco Barbaro. But a push with possession, or a loose ball push, pardon me, is the call. Ball deflected into the turf, batted around. Smithtown East has it, picked up by Peters. Ahead for Justin Carroll as he crosses midfield. Good defensive stand for Smithtown East. Almost felt like Ward Melville was destined to score another goal on that possession as they came across midfield. Bulls will slow things down a little bit with 4.5 to go in the third. Up top for Goria. Goria's got the short stick on him. Lefty shot, pulls it wide. To the far corner it goes, and a whistle. Who has it? Ward Melville's got it. Travis Mohringer was closest to it for the Patriots as it had exited. Here's Barry, lost the ball, able to scoop it back up though. Here's Stephen Germaine for Ward Melville. Germaine's got a step on his man. Up top straight away. Deflected well before it could get to net and skied over the crossbar. Palinetti will reset. Bring it back in. Off a screen. Defense comes over to him. Top shelf goal. Dylan Palinetti goes low to high on a close range rocket. And the Patriots lead for the first time since it was 1-0. You saw the screen coming from a mile away. Palinetti got it. It was set perfectly. And it doesn't get any closer than that. Tucked under, nicked the bottom of the crossbar as it went through. Palinetti scores his 4th today. So Ward Melville with the advantage for the first time since early in this contest. Chris Arceri wins the faceoff. Quick shot in front. Krieg goes down low for the stop. Rebound to Smithtown East. Marcelo's got it. Good hard-fought save by Krieg, who's really come alive late second into this third quarter. Now the Patriots tasked with trying to defend the 1-goal advantage. Up top, Finn with the short stick on him. Ranges to his right. Dancing at the top of the box. Finn tries to go across. Ball knocked down. Battle for it. Goal line extended. It's Marcelo who rescues it for Smithtown East, but he can't hold on to it. Here come the Patriots moving left to right into the stick of Stephen Germaine. Germaine lost it. Picked up by Keith Didda. Didda in some trouble, and Didda going out of bounds. Smithtown East trying to make the case there should have been a whistle there, but none forthcoming. Almost surprised Rob Campbell didn't take a timeout there to save the possession. Germaine trying to drive. Goal line extended. Top it comes as they swing it around for Mulham. Cradishville. Turnaround shot, and Donovan got a piece of it to keep it out of the net. Here's Palinetti. Palinetti. They didn't get him on the back check. He's able to scoop it out. Germaine with it. Palinetti rocking the single high sock. We've seen it in Patriots in recent years past with Eddie Munoz and Pryor, Dominic Pryor. Back up top it comes. Cradishville, Palinetti again on the run. Donovan saw it the whole way. Final minute of the third quarter. Smithtown East trying to equalize this game before it heads to the fourth. Here's Justin Carroll into the box. Carroll bodying towards the net. Carroll stops, turns, goes down low, fires wide. Krieg might have got a piece of that as Carroll let it fly as he was falling to the turf. Here's Marcelo. Gets a step on his defender. Marcelo in tight, ball deflected away. Picked up by Ward Melville. Cradishville running, 15 seconds left in the third. Mulham coming in off the bench, was trying to call for it. Back behind the cage now, it's Nick Troy. Troy with it, up top, 3 to shoot. Cradishville drops the level, blocked in front. And the third quarter comes to a close. But it was all Ward Melville. They shut out Smithtown East in the third frame. They score 4 unanswered and take a 7-6 lead to the fourth quarter on the road. Stay with us. Fourth quarter is coming up, and it's brought to you by HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics with locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The best is now nearby. We are ready to start the fourth quarter at Smithtown East High School. The Patriots, as Jay Negus has seen his team score 4 unanswered goals to take its 7-6 advantage. Meanwhile, Rob Campbell in his first season trying to help his team figure out how to avoid that and get back at Ward Melville. Amanda Puglisi's down on the sideline.
Matt, before the game, Coach Campbell told us how important it was for his team to play solid for 4 quarters. And right there at the start of the fourth, he told his guys, look, we took the first 2, we dropped this one, we need the third quarter. You got to give it everything you have now.
That's exactly right. And I think they still have a trump card in the sense of having Chris Arceri at the face-off X. He still has the opportunity to get possession. He's sandwiched, as we'll have a whistle. I didn't see a flag come down. Arceri seems okay, so it will be Smithtown East ball. Smithtown East yet to go in the man advantage today. Ward Melville has played a very clean defensive game. Here's Marcelo sizing up things defensively. Turns, fires, scores! Marcelo on a dodge from X ties it at 7. Boy, Christian Marcelo, he looked like he was ready to take that the entire way as he was surveying what the defense was doing. Third of the game for Marcelo. Second time we've seen him score from that spot on the field. And the first time that Smithtown East has scored since the midway point of the second quarter. So almost a 19-minute drought for them comes to an end. And Chris Arceri wins the faceoff. Again, Brandon Aviles, the top midfielder for Ward Melville, Syracuse commit, and a faceoff man who stays on for the offensive side of the ball. He's been banged up throughout parts of the season. There he is. They were hoping to have him back for today, but not ready to go just yet. So they anticipate he'll be back for the playoff run. But without him, they're a different team from the faceoff X, for sure. There's a shot from wide, blocked before it could get to Krieg. Scrum for it, down low, and we'll have a whistle. So who gets called for a push? Smithtown East does, and it'll be Ward Melville ball. Krieg has been so instrumental in their ability to clear today. Another one sent through to Mohringer. And Mohringer will settle it into the box and then wind his way back off to the defensive side of the field. This is Gillen on a run. Gillen, good defensive slide, good presence as well, knocked out by Shankman. But Ward Melville able to keep the possession. Trey Berry scoops it up off the turf. Opening minutes of the fourth quarter tied up at 7 apiece in the regular season finale for both teams. Palinetti has been phenomenal today, 4 goals. High percentage shooter today as well. That was one of the things that Jay Negus has talked about. Jack Gillen got the scoring started today. He's got the short stick and vertebra on him. Gillen feeds it off to Berry. Berry tucks. Lost it on a back check. Boy, Shankman has been so good today, causing turnovers. Shankman over midfield. Marcelo hit hard as he crosses midfield. A flag comes down, and Smithtown East will go on the man advantage. It's going to be a 30-second penalty on a push. Ethan Larson, who's been really solid today. Perhaps a bit overzealous in front of the Smithtown East bench, and for the first time this afternoon, the Bulls will go on the man advantage. Ward Melville, 1 of 3 on the man-up chance today. Dida now to Finn. Goria. Marcelo. 3 goals today for Marcelo. Penalties released. We're back to even strength. Smithtown East didn't even look for a shot on goal. Didn't even look for a shot. There was not a whole sense of urgency on that 30-second advantage. Justin Carroll drawing the long stick matchup from the midfield, which means one of the attackers are free. Here's Finn. Finn tied up a little bit, forced back out to Goria. Goria's got a step. Good recovery, though, by Schrenk. Alex Schrenk committed to Providence. Good slap checker, real good solid shutdown. One-on-one defender. Here's Dida. Dida crosses over on a face dodge. Jumps up into the air, settles back down. Left-handed shot, Krieg got a piece of it. Going out of bounds towards X, and Marcelo is there. Boy, all three attackmen for Smithtown East were chasing after that one. Some crafty work by Keith Dida. Offensive motion out as Dida inverts to X. Back up top, Goria. Now Dida again. Goal line extended, trying to move inside. Dida sent into the crease, and another flag flies. It looks as though Cratchville will come off. That'll be another push. So 30 seconds on the man advantage for Smithtown East, who had one a moment ago. Did not take a shot on that penalty. Rob Campbell likes the composure he sees from his young team. Couple of seniors up top, and Goria and Finn. Now Marcelo with it. Carroll. Marcelo coming around to curl. Finn around. Finn thought about the shot. Good closeout defensively by the Patriots. Pass gets away. Finn scoops it up off the turf. Good body by Justin Carroll. Marcelo shot from up top. Krieg stuck with it the whole time. And that'll be a push on Ward Melville to give the ball back to Smithtown East. Six minutes even show on the clock. Tied at 7. And a really long offensive series for Smithtown East. They have not come away with a goal, but they've had a couple of penalties called. Possession continues on the loose ball push. Gallery, now Dida, low shot. Krieg with the stop. Boy, Krieg had faced a few shots on a very long series. Able to make the final one, and Ward Melville will take it back. It's been at least 3 minutes since Ward Melville had the ball offensively. And the contrast between the first 3 quarters and this quarter, just defensively, things have ratcheted up. Only 1 goal scored so far in this second quarter. Nice defensive takeaway, Verteber. Bulls have it, moving the other way. It's Chris Goria ahead of the pack. Goria comes across, flipped in front. Marcelo, low shot, saved by Krieg. Krieg stuck with it the whole way, even though the Bulls had numbers. And the 2-year starter for Ward Melville has made some humongous saves in this 4th quarter. Here's Larson stepping into the box. gets the ball away. And now he'll start to cycle out. Nick Troy holds up top. With Larson going off, it allows Mulham to cross over the midfield line. Inside 4 minutes to play in a tie game. Last game of the regular season for these two playoff-bound teams. Mulham. Germaine got around his defender. Back to Mulham, but it's knocked down before it could get there. He picks it up off the turf. Offense is showing an extra gear right now as Palinetti saves the wayward pass. Ward Melville really spreading the field offensively now. With Cratchville all the way up near the football 40-yard line. Here's Palinetti on the run, changes hands, hits the pipe, and out of bounds it goes. Dylan Palinetti was inches away from goal number 5 and putting Ward Melville on top once more. 3 minutes to go in the contest. 7-7 our score. Germaine looking to the crease, knocked down, picked up by Shankman. But Shankman can't hold on to it. Keeps advancing it down the field. A battle for it near midfield. Marcelo has got it for Smithtown East. Marcelo crossing the sideline in front of the Smithtown East bench. And a flag comes down. Delayed penalty coming up on Ward Melville. Marcelo cutting it inside to Wertheim. Wertheim back to the cage, bounces it wide. Boy, heads up play by the freshman Marcus Wertheim as he had about 3 guys around him defensively. Just a momentary hesitation and put a good shot off goal. Slash on Ward Melville and a 1-minute penalty. So the Patriots played penalty-free lacrosse through the first really 3.5 quarters and just took their 3rd penalty of the quarter. 1-minute man-up chance for the Bulls with just 2:14 to go. Smithtown East 0 for 2 on the man advantage today. Marcelo's got 3 this afternoon. Finn up top. Back to Marcelo, they wheel it around. Goria has it up top left. Back it comes for Justin Carroll. And a timeout taken by Rob Campbell. So half the penalty has expired and Smithtown East will talk this thing over. You know, Rob Campbell, we talked about it in the first man-up chance that they had. They really didn't look for a shot. Here they're working with a little bit more urgency, but he sees what Ward Melville's defense is giving them. Now he's got an opportunity to talk things over a little bit more. Has the offense right in front of him. He was an offensive player, playing box lacrosse in Vancouver, British Columbia. Played collegiately, locally here at Stony Brook University. In his first year in this program, has them trying to come away with a marquee win here on the regular season. And Ward Melville found themselves trailing at halftime. Huge 3rd quarter, 4 unanswered goals. They'd love nothing more than to kill off this penalty and give themselves a chance to come out of here with a victory. You see Owen Carroll, he's got a pair today. So just about 28 seconds left on the man advantage. Christian Marcelo at X. Finn up top to the senior Goria. In on the crease, Dida. Goria. Now they start to get into their offense. Carroll behind for Marcello. 3 seconds to go on the man advantage. Ward Melville kills off the penalty. Finn, Dida. 70 seconds remain. And you almost wonder if Smithtown East will hold this thing till about 30 seconds left and hold for one last shot. Here's Finn dodging hard. His shot hit a body and took a high bounce over the cage out of bounds. And we'll get another timeout, pardon me. So Rob Campbell using another one to set up his offense. 56 seconds left. Smithtown East, they've won 6 in a row to become one of those teams bunched up at 9-4 in league play. But hey, you know, with the power points, with a win today, and a couple other of those 9-4 teams' losses, all of a sudden now, maybe you look at that 4-5 matchup, potentially jump up to a home game, depending on how the power points shake out. A home playoff game, that is. One of the other games we were looking at, Bayshore and Northport tied at 14 in the fourth quarter. Boy, the playoff atmosphere, it's starting early in Suffolk County League One. 2 tie games, late fourth quarters in Suffolk this afternoon. Final minute to go. Smithtown East has scored just 1 goal in this second half, but they have the ball. Chris Arcieri on the field. Done a great job of the face-off X today. Here's Marcello. Scored a couple goals dodging from X this afternoon. Goria. Arcieri. Tries to split it. Arcieri back up top for Dida. Got by him. 30 seconds to go as Goria recovers. They swing it around for Arcieri. Up top, Warburner, a shot goes in. Owen Carroll, the freshman, scores the go-ahead goal with 17 seconds left. Almost like it caught everybody off guard. Owen Carroll rocketed that up top. Low-level shot. Low bounce, sort of skimmed it along the turf. And with just 17 seconds left, Smithtown East goes on top by 1. Third goal of the game for the freshman, Owen Carroll. And perhaps the biggest face-off of the day. Arcieri takes it away. And now they just have to run out the clock. To Mike Herbert. Marcello with 5 seconds will run it out, and the Smithtown East fans, I guess they stepped in then out of the box. So 2 seconds left, a heave downfield, but it will not matter. Smithtown East pulls off the upset in the regular season finale on Senior Day. A lead relinquished in the fourth, but they shut out the Patriots in the final frame. Score the game's last 2 goals, including the winner by the freshman Carroll with just 17 seconds left. The Bulls win 8-7. And it's brought to you by HSS, the #1 hospital for orthopedics, with locations in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The best is now nearby. We'll be back. Well, the Smithtown East Bulls have perhaps their most impressive win of the season as they knock off the two-time defending state champion Ward Melville Patriots by a score of 8-7. Owen Carroll, the freshman, 3 goals today, and he's standing by with Amanda Puglisi.
All right, so Owen gets a little bit of a Gatorade bath today, but 17 seconds, the game-winning shot. Tell me, what did you see in that play?
Well, when he dodged, there was no one coming up, so I just decided to shoot.
You guys had a 3-goal lead at halftime. Ward Melville makes a comeback. Your coach says to you, we need to win the 4th quarter. What do you think was the difference there?
Well, I think we just out-hustled them, and we just had more fight.
You go toe-to-toe. You really go down to the wire with the 2-time defending champ. So how much confidence now is this team going to take moving forward into the playoffs?
Well, this really helps us in the playoffs moving up, so now we have a home field advantage, and now we'll just get ready to win.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, back up to you.
Thanks, Amanda. Again, this game really does kind of boost them up standing-wise. Now, all of a sudden, they were bunched up with that 9-4 group coming into today. And they get a home playoff game. They'll probably be the 4 seed going into the postseason. And it really changes the way that you look at this season with first-year head coach Rob Campbell, 10 league wins, taking over a program that was a bit in transition, come up with a win today over the Ward Melville Patriots. Well, he said he was curious. He said he was excited to see how they played, and they did not disappoint their head coach today. So that'll just about wrap things up for us, for everybody involved in our News 12 varsity production. The Smithtown East Bulls, they put on a show. They trailed 1-0 early, but offensively, they came to play. The attack got things done. Christian Marcello with 3 goals, Owen Carroll with 3 goals, and Keith Ditta with 2. So this starting attack really did everything they could for Smithtown East. They again are victorious today, 8-7. So for everybody involved in our broadcast, for our producer, Brian Butler, I'm Matt Shortis saying so long, and we'll catch you next time on News 12 Varsity.